Hi, everybody. Welcome to Keeneland Babies, presented by Spendthrift. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and we're going to take a look at race number 1 at Keeneland on Thursday. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf as we take a peek at this field. 2-year-old fillies, some nice turf pedigrees, obviously, and the number 2, A Lot to Like, is by Spendthrift stallion Hit It a Bomb. Really interesting to see these babies on the grass at Keeneland.
Absolutely. As we move a little bit deeper into the season, you start getting opportunities for 2-year-olds to do different things. We talk a lot about in the early dirt races about, oh, I'd love to see this horse on the turf. We're going to start getting some opportunities to do things like that here. And as you might expect, there's a lot of European influences in some of these pedigrees.
Perfect segue to the number 1, Ruthin, who I think will be the favorite at post time. One of 2 in here, trained by Wesley Ward. Ruthin sold for about $475,000 overseas as a yearling. The dam was a multiple stakes winning turfer in Ireland. Tell us about the young stallion Ribchester.
Well, this is the first crop for Ribchester, who was a good 2-year-old, was a Group 2 winner going 6 furlongs as a juvenile. So certainly not out of the realm of possibility that he could have a good 2-year-old. A really stellar miler he developed into. He was a Group 1 winner at ages 3 and 4, including a win in the Queen Anne at Royal Ascot. A really just high-class horse. And I like Ruthin's long work tab here. A couple of 4 furlong works. Should be nice and fit, which is really important, especially considering you're starting to face some horses with experience.
And she's a half-sister to a multiple Group 3 stakes winner in Ireland. That was a turf sprinter. And I saw a couple of Ruthin's works at Palm Meadows with Pammy's Ready, her uncoupled stablemate. She seemed to be going better. It looks like this filly has some ability. The 2 is A Lot to Like by Spendthrift stallion Hit It a Bomb. And there's a lot to like about John Ennis trained first-time starters at this meet.
Yeah, that barn has just been on fire. I'm interested to see what they do with their turf horses in a little more distance. Hit It a Bomb, Breeders' Cup juvenile turf winner by Warfront. You would certainly think a juvenile ability on turf for this young stallion.
Number 3 is You So Money Baby. This is a daughter of the crack sprinter Palace. Not sure about the Palaces on turf. Only 3% winners with first turf runners. There is a little bit of turf on the bottom of this pedigree.
Well, and there is a little bit of turf in Palace's pedigree. Yes, he was a dirt sprinter. His offspring haven't done that well on turf yet, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility if paired with the right female family like you see here. Palace's sire City Zip could certainly get a quick horse on turf like Champion Day at the Spa.
The 4 is Baytown Lyla, and we've seen this barn do well with their 2-year-olds at this meet. And Commissioner has surprisingly done very well with 2-year-old first-time starters, 18% strike rate. This is a bargain filly, a $2,500 weanling resold for $2,000 as a yearling. Again, not sure about the Commissioners on turf, but this filly looks somewhat promising at a price.
Well, Commissioner with Island Commission, some other horses on turf. The horses from this barn before this meet, I would have told you, oh, they're better second time out, but they've done well with their firsters at this meet.
Another filly that sold overseas as a yearling is the number 5, Artos, who went for $115,000. She was a weanling. She's by Kodiak out of a stakes-winning synthetic router. And look at this pedigree on the bottom. Talk about turf sprint influences. The dam a half to Stormy Liberal. And as we see, Rusty Arnold with the formulator fact does very, very well with these sort of horses over the past 3 years. 2-year-old first-time starters and maiden special turf sprints. He's hot recently, 2 for his last 6. This is a strong pedigree.
Absolutely. Kodiak on top, the family of Stormy Liberal and Leinster on the bottom. This horse is just bred top and bottom to be a good turf sprinter. You're going to have to watch the board a little bit, but I think you might get a nice price here.
Promptly Done is the number 6. Promptly Done is by Shanghai Bobby, who gets 10% winners with his juvenile debut runners, 7% first turf runners. This horse worked very quickly out of the gate on April the 7th.
Yeah, I like that quick work. I particularly like that quick work because it was coming out of the gate. We talk all the time about how important the break is in these 2-year-old races early in the season at Keeneland. Yes, we're adding a little bit of distance from the 4.5 furlong dirt sprints to the 5.5 here, but still the break is going to be pretty crucial with these young horses.
Well, I thought the 7 Pammy's Ready was outworked a couple of times by Ruthin at Palm Meadows. She's been at Keeneland now, working steadily, and she has a solid pedigree. She's by More Than Ready out of a Warfront mare, and this is a Wesley Ward-trained firster that might not get the attention of Ruthin, but John Velasquez takes the mount, and I would expect Pammy's Ready to be ready.
Absolutely, and the cross, I really love More Than Ready over a Warfront mare. Those are 2 strong turf sires. Those are 2 strong juvenile sires, both More Than Ready and Warfront siring winners of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
The number 8, Miss Chamita, is from the first crop of Travers winner Keen Ice, a $3,000 yearling. That dam was a racehorse. She won 14 times, but none of those wins came on the turf. I wonder if this one might need a race.
I think so. I think you've kind of got half the package here with Keen Ice. This is his first crop. I do think he could be sneaky good with his turf horses, being by Curlin from that Smart Strike sire line. I don't think we're going to discount them on turf. I don't think they necessarily want to win in sprints first time out.
The 9 is 3 Point Cuz by Tamarcuz, winner of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. He's gotten off to a nice start with his first-time turf runners, 3-4-9 with Tamarcuz. Nice pedigree on the bottom. Third dam is Habibti, a multiple Grade 1 stakes winner at 2.
Yeah, and this is a pretty terrific family. I like that the dam is placed sprinting on wet dirt. When I see wet trackability in the family, that certainly makes me think turf. And, Tamarcuz by Speightstown, that's an all-purpose sire line.
The 10 is Diva Dixie, and this really has the experience edge. She took a little bit of money for trainer John Hancock in her debut on dirt. She was well beaten that day, but I think switching to turf is going to be just what the doctor ordered. She's a half-sister to the juvenile stakes place turf runner Greg's Diva.
Yeah, and I think this is very interesting that she went out, got the experience, and now she's coming back here. I really wonder if they sent her out the first time to get her feet wet, and, now this is what she's going to want to do.
Tough outside post for the number 11, Rock Along. This is a first-time starter by Breeders' Cup Classic winner Byron, a $17,000 short yearling. Byron does well with his first-time starters, and the dam won her debut.
Yeah, and we've got the statistic there that Byron is 12% first turf, and I think he's another one of those kind of sneaky good stallions on the turf. He has a lot of turf in his own pedigree. It's the fantastic Courtly D family, which is responsible for the likes of Fantastic Light and others.
Should be a fun race to open up the card at Keeneland on Thursday with some nice pedigrees. Who do you like?
Well, I looked toward the inside of the gate here, and I do think these horses are going to take a heavy amount of backing. Ruthin from the inside post under Joel Rosario, and a lot to like out of 2 under Luis Saez. I think the key will be these 2 getting away from the gate and running well early. If they do, I think it might come down to the 2 of them, and I'll try to use a little bit of a price behind them.
Yeah, the 5 Artos looks really interesting for Rusty Arnold. That's your third pick. I might have underestimated Artos a little bit. Ruthin's works sure look good to me. I have to use her in any kind of multiple race wager. Maybe the other ward, Pammy's Ready, has thrived since getting to Keeneland. So 1-2-5-6 for Nicole, 7-1-11-4 for me in our Thursday Keeneland Baby Race presented by Spendthrift.